Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, whatever time of day you are watching. This is the Victory Roll Games channel. I am the storyteller Alex Braddock, and today we are going to be playing Blueprints. I've heard a lot of good things about this game. Shout out to Spencer and Landon from Last Match Productions. They have kind of pointed me in the direction of this game, and from what I know, from what I've seen, it's kind of like a roguelike, but there's no combat, there's no anything combative or harsh. It's very puzzly in its nature. Other than that, I don't know a whole lot about this game. I just know that I have been told to play it. So, based off of what I know, though, it is based on a day system, which is more or less the number of runs that you go on in a roguelike. And so, this first episode's probably just going to be a day, and I'll kind of see how the episodes pan out from there. But without further ado, let's get into it.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Well, alright. A pretty interesting premise to the game, inheriting this manor and us finding the 46th room. Well, alright. Well, up at the top, the small amount that I know about this game, up at the top we have 50 steps. That is not steps on how many steps you'd make in the room, it is steps in the sense of how many times you leave a room. So if I leave a room, this room that we're currently standing in, that number will become 49. If I leave the next room, it'll be 48, and so on and so forth. I'm assuming the more I walk in, we'll get into the rest of the game. So let's just go ahead and step forward, get what we need to do. Open only in the event of my death. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I will feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Tools and items found in the estate must not be taken off the estate. You may not stay overnight. I do not suspect that any of these stipulations should prove any impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the success of the previous day. One final word of advice: do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and I am uncertain of which room lies behind any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, don't go where the path leads, abandon the path and go where you want it to lead. With all my love and wishes, best of luck. Herbert St. Clair. Very interesting. Grab this. Great. Okay. We found the blueprint. This will serve as a useful map and inventory lock. During your adventure, you may access the blueprint menu by pressing R2. Amazing. So we're in the entrance hall. I'm assuming that's where it is every time. Up in the top right, we have our days and day 1, 50 steps. We have the entrance hall. I'm assuming it kind of gives us what we know about those things. We can figure that out later. All right. Well, I guess that means we should just look around super quick and see if there's anything else. Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you will lose 1 step, as I said prior. When you no longer have any steps left, you will be too tired to continue searching the manor and call it a day. Okay. Let's just look around super quick. There's nothing I can access. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right. Birds. Okay. Let's move on to the right. Let's see what we can do. All right. Let's choose a room. The bedroom. Whenever you enter this room, you gain 2 steps. Closet has a guaranteed 2 items, and a hallway. Because I am on the right, I like the idea of a hallway. I'm assuming this is going to be placed into a map. So if this gets placed into the map, and I press R2 to pull up the menu, yeah, so we can actually access the fact that this is on a wall, so there wouldn't be able to be a door to the right of this anyway. So let's walk through. My steps have gone down to 49. Doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. Okay, so on the opposite side of the house are more likely to be locked. Okay, so let's just keep moving. I would assume this isn't going to be locked, so I get to choose another room. Storeroom, a guest bedroom. Guest bedroom gives me plus 10 steps. The storeroom gets me a key, a gem, and a coin. Or the pantry gives me 4 coins. Probably the storeroom. I don't believe. Yeah, let's pull up the storeroom. Go ahead and just get some items underneath our belt. So there's a coin there. There is a key here. And a gem here. Okay. I find it strange, like some of the paintings that are on the wall. Like, I don't know if they mean anything. Like, this 10 tag could mean something. I don't know what it does. We'll take note of that. But that's all I got in this room, so we'll move on. But of course, me retreating back into this room, steps go down to 47. So let's move on to this doorway, see what's behind it, or what can be behind it. If I pull up our map, probably a corridor is going to be best to get us through to the other side. I don't want to just dead end us immediately. Yeah, and a nook is just going to loop us around into a room that we don't really want to be in. So I think corridor is going to be our best bet. Let's move over here, see if we find anything. Candelabras, a lot of stuff being moved out. Can I put on the hat? No. Shame. Alright, next room. There's a spare room. Parlor can go to the right, or the guest bedroom. Really think a parlor would be great because we can go to the right, and then that way when we get back to the entrance hall and go straight, we can just go straight up. If that'll actually happen, who knows, but let's go to the parlor and see what happens. Said a puzzle piece was in here. I don't know what that's about. Potentially there are puzzles. Gems in this box. The gems are not in this box. The gems are not in the white box. Oh, it's like a 3 truths and a lie thing. Puzzle time. Here we go. Grab that and hold on to that. Wind-up key, a component for the parlor game. Okay. Let's read this. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate at the Old Hams this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been seen in decent society. We were beginning to worry about his wife's wit had lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of the evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included this in the letter, all the details you will need to share with the guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least one box which displays only false statements, and only one box has a prize within. The other 2 are empty. Okay then. So, one box tells the truth, and at least one box. Oh Lord. Okay, so one box, at least one box tells the truth, and at least one box is false. Okay, so it could be 2 truths and a lie, or it could be 2 lies and a truth. Great. Gems are not in that box. Gems are not in the white box. The gems are in this box. So if I assume... Man, this is mind-breaking. So I have to assume that one of these is a lie. Because if this is a truth, the gems are not in this box. If this is a truth, the gems are not in the white box. Then that makes the gems in this box, which would also make it 3 truths. So it has to be 2 truths. 2 lies and a truth. I can do English. So if we're thinking 2 lies and a truth, this could be a lie. This could be a lie. Folks, I'm going to sit here and ponder on this, and then I'll give my reasoning on why it's the case later. Alright, folks, I am back. So I think I kind of figured it out. It only took me about a minute, but if this is the truth, the gems are not in this box, and this one is a lie, the gems are in this box, then the gems are not in the white box could also be true, and then it makes this one valid. So we're going to try this one. We have that little spindle key. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to open it. 3, 2, 1. And there are the gems. I did it correctly. Now, I have been told before that I want to keep notes about this game. So I am going to quickly take notes about how the parlor game works, and maybe I'll note that it was the blue box this time and see if that stays the same. So I will be right back momentarily. All right, I've taken notes, and I'm going to find a sneaky way of putting up our notes on screen as we go through, just so that I can make y'all involved with the journey as well. That'll probably come in the next episode after we work through all the notes. But went ahead and closed this box down and took notes of the room. So we will move on to the right door and see what's behind it, or at least what can be behind it. Let's pull up our map so we can see where we're going. I think the bedroom would be awesome. So if we go to the bedroom, then that's going to hook to the right. I'm not necessarily worried about the steps right now, but if I go to the right, then I can fill that empty space next to the corridor and be able to put hopefully a dead-end room like the lavatory. Yeah, there may not be anything in it, but it'll fill that room and knock another room off my checklist. So let's go ahead and go into the bedroom. Our steps are down to 44 now, but plus 2 means we're up to 46. I'm going to go ahead and look around, see if I can't interact with anything in here. Looks like I can. Trunk is locked. I don't want to use my keys on trunks quite yet, because doors could be locked. Can I open any of these drawers? No. What is this? Greetings from Reddington. I'm going to assume that's where this manor is. Can I open this up? No, no drawers. Picture of a lady, probably grandma. That's nice. Okay. So I am going to just make a note that there is a chest in the bedroom. I'm going to say a locked chest as well. Alright. Well, let's move on. Next room. Like I said, I want a dead end for this one, so the nook wouldn't work. East Wing Hall wouldn't work because I'm blocking off 2 doors of that East Wing Hall. So the guest bedroom is a dead end. There's no more, and I get 10 extra steps, so we're going to rock it and see what goes down. Alright. We got our 10 steps. There's 55 now. Let's see if there's anything else. There's another. Sinclair, just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt for Lord Evanson, whose peculiar personality somewhat made up your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I've seen the billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoy your mathematical puzzles and appreciated that I didn't need to know the rule of darts to play your variation. Hoping your health improves shortly. And signed by someone. I'm going to go ahead and take a note of the billiard room and say that there is a math puzzle in it. That way I am not spooked by an eventual puzzle. Because if there's one thing I'm bad at, it's puzzles. Alright, so let's move out into the next room. I don't think I can open up any of these drawers, no. Alright, next room is this one, so we're just going to go ahead and work our way out from where we were. That goes into the parlor, and then we go into the corridor that's empty, and then we go back into the hallway. So let's talk about our map for a second. So we filled out a good bit of the right side of our house, which I guess would be the west wing of the house. So let's keep moving. Let's move on and go straight up. And hopefully we can just get a straight shot past those 2 rooms that we have already and see where we can go from there. Okay, security. View inventory of all items currently in the house. Interesting. Pantry's going to go to the right, which is not what we want. But that is good that we have a way to go to the right once we get up there. And then the spare room is just going to send us straight forward. So we're going to go spare room. probably nothing in here that I can interact with. It is just a spare room, which is completely fine. Painted walls, all that fun stuff. Let's keep moving forward. Alright, so the pantry has rotated, which is nice, because now I can go to the left instead of the right. I wouldn't block off any hallways or anything like that. I say let's go to the pantry. I'm going to get those 4 coins in. And then if I go to the left, I may hold off on going through that door and seeing where I can go if I go to the west wing, excuse me, of the entrance hall and the house and see if I can't do something like that. So, let's go through the pantry. Grab these coins off the desk. And let's see what the note says. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread would be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. So, the question is now, does fruit give us more steps? I'm interested now. Okay. Can't climb a ladder. Alright. Oh, look. I can grab an orange. I got +5 from that. Okay. Cool. So let's work our way out of here now. I'm going to work back to the entrance hall, which is straight through. I'm going to hold off on going through that pantry door because there's potential that I could end up looping around to something else. So, let's open up this door, see what we can do behind it. Ooh, not the greatest answers for this. Closet guarantees 2 items. A nook guarantees a key. Or a bunk room is a dead end. I don't like dead ends. This room counts as 2 bedrooms. So it gives us 4 extra steps. Like I said, I don't like dead ends, especially this early. I think I'm going to go with a nook, and I'm going to get that free key, which sits right here on the desk. So now we have 2 keys. Let's go ahead and check out this. Journey noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. I have had to do that, yes. A pad, scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you on your journey. Joy. It's bad when the game even knows that you're going to want to take notes. Alright. Let's go through the next door. Let's pull this up. Let's see what we can do. Dining room and chapel would be awful. Chapel, I would lose a coin. I don't really know. That could be detrimental just in the sheer fact of, like, if that's something you need to walk through more often, it's going to be taking coins from you. And I'm assuming you can't even enter the room if you don't have any coins. Lavatory, don't have any notes on it. It's just another dead end. And dining room would send me off to the right and allow me to go through the door above the dining room and, like, through the pantry and not have to worry about taking a left, though I would lose a doorway. Each day, a meal is served in the dining room after rank 8 has been reached. What I know about the ranks is the higher you go, the higher the rank. So I would have to go, like, we're rank 3. So we would have to go up to rank 8, or level 8 on the map. Which could be easy. You could just straight shot it up and end up there. But the meals give you extra steps. I know that. So, probably going to go dining room. Yeah. Let's go dining room. It cuts off the door to the right, but still is a door to the left. And we'll see what happens. Okay. And of course it's barricaded off because there's literally a wall behind it. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. There's no meal being served because we haven't reached rank 8 yet. Let's see if there's any more items in here by chance. No items. Alright, let's bust open this door. Let's see what's behind it. Ooh. Okay. So, West Wing Hall. Commissary. There's items for sale, which is interesting. A gym requirement, I'm assuming, is to... like, you have to pay in order to get the room. So, I'm thinking of the West Wing Hall. And cutting a left, and hopefully we can get, like, a bunk room or a lavatory in that bottom left corner. So let's do that. There's more plans on the wall. Plane. There's another letter here. Let's see what the letter says. Staff notice. Out of respect for the late Lady Clara Epson, the West Wing will be closed until further notice. While the floor plans associated with this wing have not been removed from the pool, we ask that staff members refrain from drafting them during this period of mourning. Interesting. So does that mean this is locked? It didn't say that it was locked. Okay. See, these are all 3 new rooms now. Mail room, a package will be delivered here the day after drafting this room. Interesting. So I guess on day 2, I'd have to get the package that was delivered. Utility closet opens up the breaker box. I want a dead end. I think the breaker box is going to come in handy later, so I'm going to get the breaker box. I can pop it open. Key card entry system. VAC indicators, the gymnasium, garage. Interesting. I'm going to leave it all on for now. And just see what I have to play with here. Danger mode. Toggling of breaker switches may result in unexpected loss of floor plan functionality. Please call DC power if you require assistance. Okay. Interesting. In that case, let's move on. We're down to 49 steps. Make sure there's nothing here that we need to get. Nope. Alright. So, just to reiterate the plan, we're going to go straight. We're going to enter a room that hopefully can either bring us to a room for the pantry or can bring us straight. We'll see what happens. There's a closet, a lavatory, or a patio. So, patio, spread, gym in each green room. Lavatory or a closet. I think the 2 items could be helpful. I think if we pop a closet down, we just gotta hope that that pantry doesn't block us off. And hopefully we can get a room that breaks open to the right. I think is really what we just have to wish for at this point. So let's go closet. Closet has 2 items. It has a key and another key. Oh, this is a special key, the silver key. Unlocking a door with a silver key leads to a room with many doors. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Alright, we're down to 46 steps. We're going to carefully make our way back to the pantry, which is... yeah, through here, and then we're going to go straight shot through the pantry and open up that door. By the time we enter into this next room, we will have 40 steps, which is good. Alright. See, boudoir or maid's chamber is going to be the best bet for us because it breaks off to the right. If we do workshop, we are literally giving ourselves a dead end and ending this run. So of course, we want to do boudoir or maid's chambers. Maid's chamber is less likely to find items laying around in your house. I don't like that. So let's go boudoir. Items, any coins, any keys, anything like that. Didn't tell me that there would be, but you never know if there's something. Let's see, Christmas picture. There's a safe. Interesting. There's no, like, legible, I know English, code on that safe, so wouldn't guarantee anything off of it right now. Anything on the back ends of these. Ooh, look, a safe. Cinca Co. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to take note of the boudoir room and say that there is a safe that needs a code. Alright, because there's no proof of the code in this room, as far as I can tell. So that makes me wonder if, like, maybe in whatever room this is, there's going to be proof of that code. Because there's no way to zoom into that picture to see if the code is on the safe. Alright. Next room, we're really looking to go like a T, potentially, so that we can go left and we can go right. Oh, see? You just got to speak it into the universe, and it'll give it to you. So, the den, there's the bunk room, and the mail room. We do not want a dead end. It will end our run, so we want the den. And walking in, there's a gem sitting on the table, so we're going to grab our gem. That makes 4 gems for us. There's a clock on the wall that seems to be actually working. That's cool. This game is beautiful, by the way. I love this, like, cel-shaded style game. Looks great. Another chest, so I'm going to take another note that in the den there is a locked chest. Alright. You know, I've got 3 keys. I don't think it'll bite me in the butt to open this. I'll just keep note of it. We'll see what's going on. Alright, if I look at my map, I'm facing to the left. This is the way I want to go. I want to go as far to the wall as I can. Door is locked. Interesting. I think I'm just going to use a key. We're going to see what happens. Of course, it's going to give us a room. Dark room would be a waste. The patio would be a waste because it's going to the wall. So it has to be the lavatory, which whoever locks a bathroom, you should be ashamed of yourself. Alright. Unless someone's inside of it. Right. There's soap. There's other things. There's an HSS, which, you know, stands for the Sinclair guy. Okay, there's nothing in the bathtub. Okay, so this is just a dead-end room, which sucks. Okay, it's fine. We've got one more door. That door, it's going to be very hard for this door to end the run. It is unlocked. There's the maid chambers. There's the chapel. Maid chambers is just going to be best for us at this point, so let's go for it. It means there's less likely items to be kept around the house, but we've got so many items right now that I think we're fine. Let's see what this picture is. Oh, it's just pictures of, I'm guessing, I don't want to be that person, but the servants of the house. We'll see. There's a note. The day we all dreaded has finally arrived. It is with unprecedented sadness that we inform you of the death of our benefactor, employer, and master, the Baron of Mount Holly, H.S. Sinclair. Any staff who have been an interest in attending services may contact Ms. Babbage for details. In following the instructions left by the Baron himself, effective immediately, all work at Mount Holly is suspended. All live-in staff will have 1 month paid leave and must vacate the premises by Friday, November 6th. Miss Babbage. Looks like they kept some stuff here, maybe by accident, but let's go through the next door. Let's see what we keep on working with. Ooh, see, so conference room is great because it opens up a T again. But workshop is also great because it just lets us go straight. It gives us more ranks. Observatory is going to cut us to the right, but I don't think that's going to work for us. But let's talk about each of these rooms. So the observatory is +1 star for each time you've drafted the observatory. I don't know what that means. The workshop. Combine inventory to create new items. I don't have anything in my inventory, as far as I'm aware. I have a silver key. That's all I have. Or the conference room. Whenever items would be spread throughout the house, they are placed in this room instead. So, if we get the patio, because it said spread to green rooms, if we get the patio, we can hit the conference room, and all of those gyms will be inside of that. I like that. Let's do the conference room. And we're moving through. Alright, spreading items. Some special rooms allow you to spread items throughout your house. When items are spread, they are immediately placed in several of the rooms currently on your estate. However, if you have a conference room, spread items are gathered in that room instead. Amazing. So, of course, we don't have anything that's spread at this moment in time. So, what are you? Safe code 9083. So, in the conference room, taking a note of this, we have the safe code. I don't know if that stays that way, but it does. I'm going to go ahead and type in the safe code of 9083 for later use. Alright. I have 35 steps. Do I just want to burn? How many steps would that be? So that'd be 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's only 3, but then it would be 4, 5, 6 to get back to the conference room. Let's burn them. Let's burn them. I want to know what's in that safe. So here's 34. Going back and unlocking the safe. 33. And then down to the boudoir. 32. We're going to go unlock this safe. Let's see what we've got. That code was 9083. Yes, 9083. Enter. Oh no. Is there 2 safes? Clear. So 9083. Enter. Interesting. Okay. So the safe code does not open. Yeah, that's so interesting. So is there another safe? Okay. Well, that didn't work. So let's move on and see what else we can come up with. Go back to where we were at the conference room. I am just going to double check that code super fast to make sure that I'm not an idiot and I wrote down the right code. 9083. Yeah, sure enough. Okay. So there has to be another safe somewhere in this house. I'm also going to take a note of the fact that it is a red card. I don't know to what extent I need to be taking notes on, but that is a red card with a safe code. So we'll see what happens. All right, this one is bringing us towards the west wing again. It wants another key. Yeah, we're gonna unlock it. All right, this is day 1. I fully expect this to take more days. Chapel makes us lose coins. The mail room is a dead end. Man. Whenever you draft a bedroom, gain 5 steps for the nursery. That's a gym requirement, though. I almost like the idea of a chapel just because I'll have a room, like I'll have another door. Lost a coin. It's no big deal. That room's blocked off. So let's just go ahead. Move in. Do I use my last key? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to use my last key. So this is yet another dead end. So using this and getting more steps would be great. Let's also see what's in here. Look, there's more bananas, which, I mean, is even better because I get more steps. So now I'm up to 33. I didn't really take note to see if... Oh, there's a hamster. That's cool. Didn't take note to see if I actually got the steps that I wanted. Can't pick up that chest. Okay. This game would be 45 times better if you could pick up every hat that is in this house. But here we are. Okay. Before I move out, we're going to the other side of the conference room. That's another coin. Great. Let's keep moving. game so far is very interesting. Very interesting because it is such a weird premise that these things are available to you. The dark room, you cannot see the floor plans while drafting in this room. Interesting. Okay. One security detail. I like the dark room because of how the setup is. Alright, yeah, let's choose this dark room. Ooh, that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Once again, this cell shaded, I believe is what they call it. This entire game is just beautiful. I'm just trying to see if there's anything around here that I can pick up. I see the bright red lights over here. I'm assuming that this is yet another puzzle. The security door is locked by an electronic key card. Okay. So we know, and I'm going to go ahead and make another note of this, that in the dark room, there is a key card. Key card door that needs the fuse box. So I knew I should have probably kept that off, but here we are. Oh, you can't even see what room you're drafting. Whoa. So not just in the not in the sense of you can't see the map. It's the room you can't see. Okay. Interesting. Well, if I knew that, I probably wouldn't have chosen it. But I have plenty of gems. I'm trying to think of what rooms needed a gem requirement. Just gonna pick the right, and if it screws us, it screws us. Okay, what is this room? A secret passage? What? Leads to a room of a color of your choice. Okay, well, you know what sucks? What sucks is it doesn't matter because I've built it into a dead end. Because even if I choose, oh, I don't know, an orange one, I'm going to pull the orange door and it's going to be blocked off because I built it into a wall. So that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and just say that there is a secret passage room that requires a gem. But here's another thing I'll go ahead and say. I need to be taking notes of every color of the rooms, which I'm going to do at the end of this day. Thanks, game. Alright. Well, folks, it's not the end of the run yet. There's still another room on the other side of this door. I just now have to go back and turn off the fuse box, which is going to be a long walk. So let's go ahead and talk about this walk real fast. That's going to be from the dark room. We are going to conference room 1, mage chamber 2, den 3, boudoir 4, pantry 5, spare room 6, hall 7, nook 8, dining room 9, west wing 10, utility closet 11, and then back. So west wing 12, dining 13, nook 14, hall 15, spare room 16, pantry 17, boudoir 18, den 19, maids 20, conference room 21, dark room 23, and I currently have 28 steps. Well, folks, this is where you don't mess up the mapping. So we're going to go ahead and just jump to that real fast, and I'll be right back. And back. And we are back in the dark room, which means that I can flip this. Keycard reader does not appear to be powered on the wall, which means that I can't go through the door. I know it doesn't. So, does that mean I can't go through the door? Oh no. Interesting. Alright. Well, folks, I think this is going to be the end of my run. I'm going to double check everything just to make sure that I don't have a random room that I can pull or anything like that. Not from what I can tell. That sucks. I am going to need to just take a note of the fact that the key card unpowered doesn't grant entry. I have a feeling somewhere in the house it is going to grant me entry if the key card reader does not have power. I don't see why I can't go into this door. Well, folks, I think that's the end of this one. So, go ahead and step into a room where you can see. We'll start off into the deep, dark passage that leads to nowhere. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that fun stuff. And definitely we'll be playing day 2, but this has just been day 1, so there's plenty more to learn, there's plenty more to go through. And I'm going to put a lot of heart and passion into this edit. So, once again, if you liked it, hit the like button. Make sure to stay tuned for more content that's coming from this channel, from our normal channels. But, folks, whether it's been a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, or a good night, this has been Blueprints, and thank you so much for watching.